Guess who finally finished a book? This girl. I'm gonna go make another coffee. Get a grip. What do you think this is? Game of Thrones? No world building, no nothing. Guys, I did in fact fall asleep at like 11. 24 hours is finally over. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 24-hour readathon. It's currently the night before. I want to go over my rules and my TBR for the next 2 days, so whenever I wake up tomorrow I can immediately just start the timer. So for the rules, there's not too many. I just have a few guidelines, I guess you could say. So this will span over the next 2 days. I'll be doing 12 hours tomorrow and 12 hours the next day. I will still be using audiobooks as a bit of a break, and so like continuously reading or making food or doing chores or something like that. So I will still be ingesting some form of a book for the full 12 hours. Let's get into the TBR of this video. We obviously have my August TBR. If you haven't watched my video, go watch that because I'm not going over every single one of these books. We'll probably be sticking to my August TBR, but I also have those books on my TBR shelf. I also have my Kindle right here, so I also have that as an option. I have multiple sources I can pull from, so I did just grab some more books from my physical TBR. I can grab from that shelf whenever I want. I do just want a stack to kind of choose from, I guess you could say, for like a priority TBR. I don't know. So we have quite a few books over here. I'm literally probably gonna read maybe four. Here's the selection that we have. I have My Oxford Year. The movie actually just came out on Netflix, I think. I did in fact soft DNF this book when I was halfway through it. I think I was reading it, was it during my last 24-hour reading? I remember when I read it. It was in a reading blog, but I did in fact stop listening to the audiobook halfway through because I just wasn't paying attention to it. So this is also an option since I am currently in the middle of it. That would be kind of an easy read, I guess you could say. Thrown in there, we have Billy Summers. I have never read a Stephen King book. This would be my first Stephen King book. I am in the mood for fall. I also don't read thrillers like ever. This would also be me branching out of my genre. Is it a thriller or is it just a mystery? I don't know, but I just want to throw this in here in case I want to change things up just a little bit. Following on the same trend of books that I stopped while I was in the middle of reading, we have Inadequate Air. This is the third book in the Bridge Kingdom series, but the Bridge Kingdom series is set in duology. I did stop listening to it on chapter 4. I don't know if I will be picking this up, but again, I was like already in the middle of it and I am in the middle of this series, and they are a very, very quick and easy read. I don't necessarily like the series too much. I do own this book and I would like to read the books that I own. Then we have 10,000 Stitches. I just finished Half a Soul. So I'm throwing this on the TBR because it is really short and it is just a refreshing kind of book for a little bit of a palate cleanser, I guess. Then we have City of Ashes. This is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. Like I said, we have all of these books on my August TBR. Fireborn. This is a fun YA fantasy. We have The Dead Romantics, self-explanatory. Also, like the only romance that's on here. We have What Happens After Midnight. Also a palate cleanser. We have New Moon. The odds of me reading this book is incredibly high. I have this bad boy. We have The Shadow of the Gods. This one I do have as an audiobook on Libby right now, so I could be listening to this as my audiobook. So I have 10 books on this TBR and I will maybe read 4 of them. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow morning to start my 24-hour reading vlog. Good morning. It's literally not even that early, mind you. It's literally 6:40. I wake up around this time every day. I wake up at like 7 every single time. I'm like really tired. I was enjoying my sleep. I will be starting with What Happens After Midnight. I looked it up on Libby and they had the ebook and the audiobook available to borrow. I'm gonna read for the next like 20 minutes and then I'm gonna put the audiobook on because I'll be going on a walk with my mom and Lainey. So let's get this 24 hours started. That's a lot of time. Oh my god. Hi guys, so it is now 9:39. I just paused the timer so I could chit chat with you guys. I am currently at 21 hours and 4 minutes left, and I did in fact start another book. I've been listening to audiobooks all morning, but now I'm about to hunker down and actually read. I just wanted to get my walking out of the way, and I also scrolled on Pinterest for a little bit. As you guys know, the first book that I started was What Happens After Midnight. I was listening to the audiobook before I switched to this one. I was just getting a little bored with it, so I kind of wanted to switch things up. My nose is just so bad. My allergies are acting up like crazy right now. Oh my god. Okay, so if my nose is red, it's because I literally can't stop itching it. Oh my god. Anyways, I was just kind of getting bored with this, and I know that this will be a good book to pick up whenever I need something easy, I guess. I am on chapter 9, page 106. The book takes place at a boarding school about Lily, who is a senior, and she's obviously graduating in a couple weeks, and it's about the senior prank. So it's just kind of a fun, light read. Definitely will be picking this up later today. But like I said, I did end up switching to Fireborn. Both of these are actually on my August TBR, so go me. This book starts off like immediately. No world building, no nothing. It is about dragon riders at an academy, so I'm just kind of thinking YA fourth wing a little bit. And in previous years it was only dragon lords, is that what they're called? Dragonborn, is that what they're called? People of higher nobility were able to ride dragons and be a dragon rider, but now times are changing. Common people can train to be a dragon rider. This is about Annie and Lee. He is the son of a dragon lord, but no one knows it besides him. I think it's called Dragon Lord. I think that's what they're called. Lee was born to the very aristocrats who used to rule the city. I don't know. He's like the highest of nobility, but no one knows it. And we have Annie, who is a low-born, but she is like the best dragon rider in their year. That's about all I've gotten because I'm literally on page 64. I'm on chapter 3. Chapters are also really long. Let me see if I can show you. So this is where chapter 3 starts, what I'm holding right now. This is how long one chapter is. Yeah, but we do in fact have dual point of view. I am excited to continue this because there's dragons in it. I've been really itching for a dragon fantasy. I have 21 hours left. I haven't updated for a few hours. I'm currently at 18 hours and 13 minutes left, and I am on page 172 of Fireborn, and I did in fact fall asleep at like 11. Literally immediately after I talked to you guys, I passed out for like an hour, and I didn't pause the timer. So there is that. I don't think I paused the timer. I don't really remember, it was kind of a blur, but I did in fact fall asleep. So there is that, but I am awake now, and I have been reading for quite a bit. I've read about 100 pages since I've woken up, but I'm really trying to power through this book. It's because yes, it is a easy YA fantasy, but it's a little too surface level for my liking. There's not many descriptions about like anything. It keeps like jumping locations and jumping like days and weeks without really addressing it, and so I keep getting a little confused as to where we're at most of the time. It's like an easy read, so I am trying to power through it, but it is a bit of a struggle right now just because I'm not very invested with what's happening. Like I like our characters and I like the dragon riding aspect of it, but I also just don't have a connection to anything about this book. I'm gonna try for the next hour to see how far I get into this. If it's not really grabbing me, I might end up starting another book, unfortunately. That sounds so bad. I'm not DNFing this book. I will definitely be finishing this book. I might just press a pause on it. About 18 hours left. It is currently 1:25. But that's enough yapping. I'm gonna go continue reading. So I'm really finding myself not loving this book like at all. I just find myself wanting to pick up my phone. I keep looking at the books on my bookshelf and trying to figure out what book I want to read, because this book I also don't want to read at all right now. I don't know if I will continue reading it. I'm just kind of bored. Like, it's just kind of boring. Both of these books are just very boring to me right now, and I fear I should have started off with a bang. Like, I should have started off with a book that I knew I was going to really like, but I kind of thought that's how I'd feel about this book, but it's just not doing it for me, and I feel like I've wasted so much time. I literally paused the timer because I feel yappy right now. I feel like I've wasted so much time today just like pondering about the other books that I could be reading instead of these two books. So I don't know if that's a sign that I should read a different book, but like nothing sounds good right now, which is like awful because I was so excited for this reading vlog. I was so excited to just have 24 hours to read a bunch of books, but I am just not feeling reading right now. Like I'm continuously looking at the books that I haven't read and none of them sound good to me. I could pick up New Moon because New Moon is in fact my favorite movie. Unpopular opinion, okay, I know a lot of people don't really like New Moon. Personally, it is in fact my favorite movie out of any of the Twilight movies. I am like itching to get to that book, but at the same time, like I just don't know what I'm in the mood for. I'm gonna blame it on these two books if I'm being totally honest. I just don't know what I'm doing if I'm being totally honest. Like I literally have started 2 separate books. I'm not even halfway through either of them. I would like to finish both of these by the end of this video. So maybe these will be the books I read tomorrow or later. I don't know. I'm just really not in the mood for them right now, but I don't know what I'm in the mood for. Hi guys, so I now officially have 12 hours left, so I obviously wanted to give you guys a bit of a check-in. Last time I spoke to you guys, I was debating on starting another book, but then I decided that I really just needed to focus on the books I was currently reading, and so I did finish What Happens After Midnight. I think I'm gonna rate this around a 3-star. This book was just like fine. It was a fun, cutesy little read. Nothing to really remember. Won't remember quite literally anything about this book. This is the first book that I am finishing in this video, and I also was reading Fireborn, and I'm currently on page 264. I kept getting sidetracked because my parents were watching Big Brother and I kept accidentally watching it. So I would be maybe 30 more pages into it, but I kept getting distracted. Overall, I'm feeling about the same as I did before. I am feeling a little bit more invested. I think it's because I took a step away for a little bit, but my feelings are pretty much the exact same a little bit. I feel like it lacks a lot of descriptors and it kind of just skips over things that are important, especially in fantasy books. Like I don't know what the dragons look like. They were described, the color was described on like the first couple pages, and I don't remember it from the first couple pages, but it's literally not described at all. It's really hard for me to kind of imagine everything, I guess. I don't know. But that is enough for tonight. I will see you guys in the morning. Hi guys, and good morning. Obviously it is the next day, and as you guys just saw, I finished Fireborn finally. Probably comes to a shock to no one, but I think I'm gonna rate this like 3 stars. Stars are like a baseline for recommendation, but anything below a 3-star means I just did not like it whatsoever. I didn't necessarily not like this book, but I didn't really like it too much either. I just felt like some parts were way too dragged on when they didn't need to be. Like it felt like sometimes it was pretty fast paced and we just kept focusing on like minute things that just weren't important. Overall, I feel like the plot and the story is interesting. I just feel like I don't necessarily like the execution of it. That sounds so mean. It just wasn't really my cup of tea. That's that. We're finally done with Fireborn, the second book of my 24-hour reading challenge. I currently have 9 hours and 37 minutes left. I was debating between these 2 books right here. You can obviously see the first one, but that is The Dead Romantics and City of Ashes. I was kind of teetering between these 2, but I feel like I might go into City of Ashes. No, I really did enjoy City of Bones. It's just a fun YA fantasy, which I am still in the mood for. Like this did not itch that feeling of wanting a fun YA fantasy. They're not at all similar whatsoever. This has dragons, this is an urban fantasy, but I still want to read a fun YA fantasy. This is an option. I'm gonna stop procrastinating and start reading. Give her a second, it takes a minute for it to update. If you aren't taking advantage of the free samples you get on Kindle, you need to. It gives you about 50 pages, I think, in the sample. It's like 40 to 50 pages, and it is the most amazing thing ever. I love using the sample. Hi guys, I look like a completely different person every time you see me, but I'm about to walk on the walking pad, do my hour on the walking pad. But I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update. I have 7 hours and 30 minutes left, and I am about 25% of the way through City of Ashes. I am on page, well, I guess I could just find it in my book. I'm on chapter 7. That's how far I am into the book. I've been reading it on my Kindle, and then I literally was like nodding off. Like I felt like I could pass out at any second. Not like actually pass out. Let me specify that. I kept like nodding off and falling asleep, and so I'm gonna go make another coffee. Literally 1:38. And I was gonna get an energy drink, but I'm really trying not to have energy drinks. I'm trying my absolute hardest not to have any. And since I don't have any currently and I have to go to the store for it anyways, I just don't really feel like it. So we're just gonna make another coffee and hope that does something. I don't know. I'm gonna go make a coffee and then walk on the walking pad for an hour. I'll be reading my book with my little page turner of my page turner. It is incredible. I'm really enjoying the book so far. It is kind of exactly what I was in the mood for. It's fast paced, keeping me engaged. There's a bunch of characters, a bunch of side characters. It's also set in New York City, so that's just an extra plus. So I'm excited to continue the OG YA fantasy series. First, I need to go make an iced latte ASAP. Hi, so I did in fact take a bit of a break. I fear this video was just not the best option for me right now. Spending the last 2 days cooped up in my room just reading, and yeah, I did read downstairs a little bit and like outside. It's too hot to read outside, and so it's just not comfortable being out there, and anytime I read downstairs I get distracted. Only option is to read in my room. Being like cooped up in my room doing nothing besides reading, I just feel so unproductive, even though I'm doing it for a video. So it's not like, so this probably wasn't the best option for me. We're already 3/4 of the way through it. Just have to power through it. But I did take a break because I felt my mental capacity draining. Feel like doing this just is not the best for my mental health, honestly. And I just really felt it depleting. I decided to take like an hour-ish break, even though I literally have only been reading. My brain just felt so exhausted. I think the issue is that I'm not reading books that like I'm fully invested to, if that makes sense. Like I feel like if I was in the middle of reading like an intense fantasy series, like Throne of Glass for example, when I read them 2 years ago, I would sit down for like hours at a time reading them. And so I feel like it's just because it's a lot of singled out books, even though this is a part of a series, but it's not the best series ever. Like I'm not totally invested into anything, but I am having like a fun time. Like I am glad that I picked up this book, but I just wish that I was more invested in the books that I'm currently reading. Anyways, that's enough of being negative about this entire reading vlog. I do in fact have about 6 hours left. I have 5 hours and 51 minutes left, and it is currently 4:36, which means that the timer will be done at 10:27. Yeah, so I did take a little bit longer than I had stated apparently. I'm currently on page 228. I think I'm exactly 50% of the way through. The book is a lot of fun, but there is one part of this that is like, I feel like it wouldn't be a spoiler because of how old this series is, and like even I knew about it and I had never read these books. But for the sake of this being a non-spoiler, I won't say it, but there's a certain element of, I don't know if it's just these two books or what, with our main characters that I just simply can't get past. And I don't mean that like like it's not necessarily, it's not icking me out, but anytime there's like a certain interaction, I'm just like, oh my god, you know, but anytime they have any sort of like specific interaction, I'm like oh no. But this book is keeping me on my toes. There is something happening literally every 5 pages, and I really need that right now. You know the spoiler I'm talking about that I just talked about like 2 seconds ago? The sound of her name in his mouth was so intimate that a shudder ran down her spine. Get a grip! Get a grip! What do you think this is? Game of Thrones? Oh my god. I actually can't. I actually can't.
Dresses, pajamas, and then this is like overshirts and jumpers, and then
Ew! Guys. She wondered for a moment if he might actually spring at her, what it would be like if he struck her, knocked her down, grabbed her wrists even. Fighting to him was like sex to other people. The thought of him touching her like that brought the blood to her cheeks in a hot flood. Babe. Like, call the fucking police! What do you mean? 76% of the way through City of Ashes, and I have 2 hours and 23 minutes left of reading, and it says I have an hour and 51 minutes left in the book. But right now the tides are turning. I think a big battle is about to happen. Very, very excited. This book has just kind of kept me hooked the entire time. I do think that this is still in the 3-star range, which is so disappointing. You didn't even get a 4-star in this video, but it's totally fine. I am enjoying my time reading this book. Anyways, that's my update for now. I will update you guys once I finish this book. Hi! Guess who finally finished a book? This girl. I finally finished City of Ashes. It took me pretty much the entire day, but hey, here we are. I have an hour and 7 minutes left of reading. Here comes the dilemma of what book do I freaking read? I feel like I'm just going to pick up New Moon. Honestly, I feel like that will be the best option, solely because it'll just be an easy read. It is on my TBR. I have been wanting to read it, so might as well start it. After reading the first book, I just think that they're incredibly bingeable. I think I'm just going to pick up New Moon. I have the font way larger than I usually do, but I just needed to keep my attention. Usually I have my font on like 5. It's either on 5 or 6, yeah. We're just gonna keep it at 6. I also got new blue light glasses because I broke my other one. So if you thought me wearing glasses today was really weird because I don't usually wear glasses, it's because I don't. They're literally just blue light glasses, but I was getting a headache. Even though I do have the warm tone or whatever it's called like turned up on it, and I do like reading in the dark mode, but recently I've just been feeling the white screen. I didn't feel like turning the warmth like all the way up, but I'm trying to not get a headache, okay? This is totally a side tangent, but me and Jake have been playing Minecraft again, and I am just realizing how sensitive my eyes are to blue light, specifically Minecraft. Minecraft has always given me a headache since I was a kid. I don't know why. It's just because of like how zoomed in everything is. I don't know, but I needed blue light glasses because we've been playing a lot recently, because I usually, like, if I'm on my phone a lot, I turn the warm tone or whatever on. When I'm on my iPad, like editing or something, I put the warm tone on. Like, I usually have it on, but your girl has been getting headaches, so here we are. Anyways, I'm going to get ready for bed and then finish the rest of my reading with New Moon. For some reason, I have like a lot of energy right now. If you've noticed how I'm talking currently, this entire reading vlog, I have felt so down in the dumps, and it probably rubs off on the way that I'm speaking as well. So I apologize for that, because I feel like I was just kind of like a Debbie Downer this entire reading vlog, but right now I'm feeling super positive. I don't know why, because it's literally like 9:30, 9:27. I think it's because I finally started watching YouTube. I'm watching Destiny's like old vlogs because they're so comforting to me for some reason, but I haven't watched YouTube since I started this video, and for some reason that made me feel like 1,000 times better. It like pulled me out of my head. It could just be that I'm reaching the end of today's reading vlog, and I finally finished another book. Reading 3 books in the span of 2 days is pretty impressive. I need to not get in my head so much about how it took me 8 hours roughly to read this book. Did it take me 8 hours to read this book? Yeah, because I had 9.5 hours left when I finished this book, I think. So it took me like 8 hours to read this book. That's crazy. I also totally forgot to say rating for this book. I feel like I'm at like a 3.5, maybe. That's where I'm at. It's definitely above these two, because these two are just 3 stars, I think. But this just, I feel like it's like in the middle of a 3 and 4 star. So we're just gonna put it there, because I am very, very excited to continue the series, because I know you're supposed to read the first 3 Mortal Instruments and then read the Infernal Devices trilogy, read the remaining of the Mortal Instruments. So I'm gonna do that. Apparently that's a reading order, I don't know. But I am glad that I finally read this, because I am slowly but surely thrifting all of these books, specifically this cover, because I think they look really good on a shelf together. So I've been slowly thrifting these, but I think I might just have to buy them on like Pango or Thrift Books or something. I am once again procrastinating picking up a book. I'm feeling yappy right now. My reading vlogs recently have been really short. I don't know why. It's not because I'm like editing them down too much. I mean, I do edit them down because sometimes I'll talk for like too long. Like right now, I don't know if I'm gonna cut this out. I probably will. I do edit it down kind of, but recently my reading vlogs have been like max 30 minutes. Crazy. Like I personally, so that's embarrassing. So cool. My light just died, if you couldn't tell. Personally like long reading vlogs. Like I like 40-50 minute reading vlogs. I feel like 40 minutes is like the sweet spot for me whenever I'm watching reading vlogs. But for some reason, my reading vlogs recently have been really short. Honestly, couldn't tell you why, because I don't like reading vlogs being short, but I think I've been really struggling with getting B-roll and like montages, and then I also haven't been super yappy, so I'm trying to be more yappy. I fear I haven't been yappy this entire reading vlog until now. I don't know what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna go get ready for bed like I said, and then read New Moon to finish off this now hour that I have left, because I had an hour and something left yapping for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go do that. The 24 hours is finally over. This has felt like the longest 24 hours of my entire life, but I am currently on page 42 of New Moon, and I am not reading anymore tonight. Sorry if this vlog kind of like sucks, or if it's just really chaotic. Maybe it's more fun if it's chaotic, I don't know. This was a really weird reading vlog. I've been kind of in a rut with reading, if you can't tell, and just with like life in general, I guess. My brain's just been kind of all over the place, and it's probably incredibly obvious, but nonetheless, I did in fact complete my 24-hour readathon, which is so exciting. I actually was able to commit to 12 hours one day, 12 hours the next, which is crazy to me. Maybe the next one will be better. I don't know. You live and you learn, especially when it comes to reading for 24 hours, because that's absolute insanity. That is unfortunately the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Bye.